Akatsuki. It's a Cambodia versus Nepal matchup. And IQ have begun their run in ESLIndia Premiership fall season with quite an astounding victory yesterday versus Team Go Figure. Go Figure, they're playing with a stand-in. Heck, I mean, their replacement to Deliverance had a stand-in. Not taking anything away from them. They did put up a good fight, but unfortunately, IQ were just the better team. They're this team that cruises through the early game, doesn't bother too much about what's going on in the early game. But come mid-game, everything just starts to click together really well for them. The draft already underway. We're seeing a Venomancer ban, and it looks like Akatsuki have taken note and banned out the Omni Knight, something that CO Baby has been playing to a fair amount of success. He ran it yesterday. He ran it at the LAN as well. But honestly, how do you ban against this guy? This guy plays safe lane Lich. He plays safe lane Mirana. Heroes that are forgotten and heroes that aren't considered to be meta really. And he somehow almost always manages to win with these heroes. Akatsuki, it looks like they're going the Go Figure route. They're picking up a lot of team fight. And with the Sand King in the Disruptor, then the team fight is quite sorted. It is something that Team Go Figure tried to do yesterday. They picked up the Disruptor along with the Earth Shaker and the Darkseer. But despite all of that apparent team fight, they just couldn't end up winning a single bout in the mid game. On the other hand, you're seeing a Ursa ban coming out from IQ. That makes sense. Fury Swipes is one of the better ways to deal with the Lifestealer. Akatsuki, on the other hand, are banning out mid heroes. They're respecting Kumi in the mid lane. If I'm not mistaken, it is Kumi who comes to the mid lane. Yeah, he was mid laner yesterday. And they're taking the Invoker and the Storm out of the equation. Fun fact, I did manage to sneak a peek at Cinderin's compendium predictions. And I think there is a prediction for hero with the highest win rate or the highest average win rate. And Cinderin chose Storm for some reason. I'm not sure if this can entirely be attributed to the fact that Sumail almost always wins a game when he's playing Storm, or whether that hero is almost an auto win. Either way, Akatsuki, they're going to pick up the Razor, the anti-carry, so to speak of, and he's going to be looking to steal a fair bit of damage from Lifestealer in team fights and render him useless. In Intense Quotient, they've gone with the Queen of Pain, so they've got a strong mid laner themselves, and Akatsuki here, I mean, they really have to look at options for the mid lane. You could run Lina, but it's quite easy for Queen of Pain to just blink onto your side of the slope and harass you down with Shadow Strike. You could do Clockwork into Shadow Fiend. Have a 4-position Clockwork, maybe put Sand King in the off lane and enable your Shadow Fiend with a fair amount of souls to start out with. And hopefully he snowballs from there. But instead of gone with the puck, this is a matchup that can go either way. I mean, you can pump fake the Shadow Strike and maybe Puck. What am I saying? Maybe Punk. Maybe Puck might get carried away and pop the phase shift just to dodge Shadow Strike, which wasn't really there in the first place. But I want to say this is a matchup that does favor the Puck. It's going to boil down to mechanical skill for sure, like the mid lane almost always does. But it is a matchup where Puck should be fine to some extent. Intelligence Quotient, though, they're looking to pick up a support. Crystal Maiden wouldn't be too bad. In case this is an offlane Sand King from the look of things. I mean, Akatsuki, the draft still has space to accommodate an offlaner here. So I wouldn't mind the Crystal Maiden. There have been numerous nerfs. You got a roaming support in the form of the Nyx Assassin. Unless, of course, IQ could always switch things up and send Nyx to the offlane. Or, I mean, you could do something like the Ogre, but it's not going to be easy to do much in the mid lane versus the Puck. You could pick up something like the Rubik, honestly. It's not too bad a game. There's Burrow Strike, there's Static Storm, maybe even the Coil or the Orb or the Waning Rift. A lot of good spells to steal. It's a pretty decent game for a Rubik. And if that Nyx Assassin indeed takes up the 4 position, you could have the Rubik babysitting the Lifestealer and lane. I mean, if ever there was a game for a Rubik, I guess this is one of them. But IQ, they're taking their time. What other 5 would be a good fit here? I mean, you could always do Warlock. Just disrupt all the team fight coming out from Akatsuki and even have the Fatal Bonds to work with the Sonic Wave. There is some team fight synergy there with the Warlock and the Queen of Pain. For those of you wondering who the hell Akatsuki are, thankfully the folks over at AFK Gaming did do a really nice roundup article on all the teams, and basically there are a bunch of players from Nepal. They have a boot camp. Madara as well as Itachi Uchiha did play on For Miracle. There were two squads from Nepal last year. I mean, in the previous edition of the ESLIndia Premiership, one was For Miracle and one was 3C40A. 3C40A always came across as a slightly better team, but there's been a merger of sorts, and it's resulted in the Akatsuki. However, IQ, back to them, they pick up the Shadow Shaman. So they've got a good bit of lockdown, instant lockdown versus the puck. And I like this draw ban coming out. I mean, the last thing you'd want is an absolute curveball coming out from Akatsuki, where they put Razor in the mid lane, put puck in the off lane. Both Razor and the puck are really augmented by the aura coming out from the draw. So IQ not taking any chances there. And yeah, they round up the draft with the Night Stalker. You could run the Night Stalker in the offlane if you want to. I mean, teams have been experimenting, and the Chinese like to run him more as an offlaner. It's something I've seen VG do a fair bit, even LFY every now and then. But they also run him as a Ford. The question is, who really benefits with the early levels? I mean, Night Stalker, if he's in the offlane and if he's getting EXP by the 4-minute mark, you can see him be, I mean, he could possibly be 5, maybe 6 if he's really lucky. But yeah, it indeed looks like it's a 3-position Night Stalker because CO Baby's picked up a hero. So it's a 4-position Nyx and a 5-position Shaman. So it does mean that the Nyx is going to take a while to get his Vendetta up and going, and Lifestealer won't have a vehicle until the 12 to 15-minute mark, which makes sense because Lifestealer needs that farm, needs that armlet up and going along with his face boots, maybe even a Midas if he gets off to a good start. So yeah, it seems that Night Stalker is going to be the one soaking up some EXP in the off lane. But knowing IQ, they really don't run an off lane. I mean, they run their position 3 in the safe lane more or less. So if IQ are going to put CO Baby once again in the safe lane and let him farm all by himself and run an aggressive trial like they did yesterday versus Go Figure and like they did at the LAN, or whether they're going to switch things up this time around. Going to get the hotkeys up and going. This always takes a minute. There we are. Okay. And we'll quickly run through the lineups. On the side of Akatsuki, their last pick, the Abaddon, being played by Axel. Disruptive being played by Seor, and I can't just read his entire name for some reason. Madara going to be playing the Razor. Dreamy playing the Puck. And Sand King in the hands of Itachi Uchiha. On the other side of the river, for Team IQ, we've got number 7 playing the Lifestealer. Shadow Shaman in the hands of Love. Kumi going to the mid lane with the Queen of Pain. Night Stalker in the hands of CO Baby, and that leaves us with Jing, the captain and drafter on the Nyx Assassin.
30 seconds to battle.
Brutal, savage, wrecked.
And for some reason, okay, it is a disaster. My hotkeys won't work. Okay. Got to do the old school way. And speaking of the old school way, Itachi Uchiha goes to contest a rune all by himself, gets caught out. He's okay. So yeah, this time CO Baby, he's going to be going to the off lane, yeah. And he started out with 8 tangos. So he's got I mean, enough consumables would be an understatement here. Mid lane, how's the vision looking? You've got this Radiant Observer ward. Looking over the cliff. It's it's an odd ward to drop. I mean, it does look at the mid lane. I guess that position was preferred because, hold on 1 second. There is something seriously wrong today of all days. Okay. Yeah, it is an unusual ward, but I guess Team Akatsuki preferred that position because it's not a common ward. It doesn't get dewarded easily, but it barely looks at the mid lane, barely looks at rotations as well. So it's not going to help him all that much, but it's going to give him a little bit of vision about the cliff. They're running a dual lane here with Axel and the Sand King. And this is not going to be fun for the life stealer. This is not a fun lane at all. They're trying to push them out of the lane, but Axel with the shield should be fine. The shield is available. He was about to drop it, but the shackles on point from Leugue make sure that number 7 gets the first blood. And a smart adjustment coming up from IQ. They did realize that they're not going to be able to hold themselves in this lane once the Abaddon and the Sand King get levels. So, well, they decided to move first and get the kill before the Sand King and the Abaddon start to snowball. Sand King did put that point into Caustic. Didn't get too much damage done with it though. I mean, Shaman's taken a fair bit of damage, but that's about it. Mid lane. It looks like Kumi is the winner here for the time being. 8 CS to Puck's 4, almost twice as much as the Puck, just 1 minute and 30 seconds in. And you got Disrupted just pulling, keeping the wave far away from the Nightstalker. Actually, they aren't doing a really good job because the Nightstalker has been able to lead some EXP. He's hit 2, and he's even going to push Disruptor away from his own field. Stops the Clarity from getting the Disruptor up to full mana, and didn't manage to really get that speed that he was looking for. Mid lane though, it looks like Kumi is having the time of his life. I'm not sure what's going wrong though. Dreamy should be able to avoid the Shadow Strike. Kumi does have 2 Lung Talismans, so he's got a whole lot of base damage more to work with. And hold on, I'm just gonna have to mute my mic because I'm getting a call from production. Okay, folks, sorry about that. Mid lane, it looks like Kumi's come back for revenge. He did miss the kill. Kumi did end up going down. Meanwhile, in the top lane, they brought down the Abaddon once more. This tri lane, really working for Team IQ. The problem here is, okay, you know what? We have a config that is not working, and I have no idea why. I'm just trying to get it fixed as soon as possible. There it is. Oh, okay. It's sorted. Sorry about that, folks. We had a couple of production hiccups. Hopefully, they've been sorted now, and we should be able to focus on the game. So yeah, Kumi goes down again in the mid lane. I was praising Kumi up till now, and yeah, while I stepped out to get my config working, Dreamy somehow managed to bring him down twice. But yeah, Jing is going to enjoy some alone time in the mid lane, catch up in terms of EXP. But yeah, this off lane, or what should have been a dual lane coming out from the Abaddon and the Sand King, has horribly failed. I guess you want them to dominate, but instead they've died twice. They've lost a fair bit of EXP. While in the mid lane, Dreamy is being chased by Zing. Zing, no mana to work with, no mango, but just the haste rune is enough to dish a fair amount of Harris to the Puck. It's 30 seconds till the 5-minute mark, so Dreamy doesn't have the shrine to work with just yet. He's got an Iron Branch and a Tango, and he's even got a Bounty rune to pick up, so he's okay. Nighttime sets in, see your baby being aggressive. Itachi goes in with the Butter Strike, and he will end up missing. They got the glimpse, no kinetic field just yet. Disruptor putting 2 points in the glimpse, 1 point into Thunder Strike, and CEO Baby gets pulled back and runs right out of there. Once again, Kumi. Really playing mind games with Dreamy. Pump fake the Shadow Strike time and time again and forcing Dreamy to use phase shift preemptively. He's playing around the cooldown perfectly, does get the screen away, blinks and aggressively Sonic Wave gets the kill. Dreamy outplayed in the mid lane. While elsewhere they've got the Disruptor. This time the next assassin is around. See your baby, he's got a couple of levels, level 5 in fact, he's got boots to work with. See yourself, I'm not sure he's going to be able to run out of this. He's got the glimpse, he's got high ground as well. See your baby giving chase. He should be able to fly over the trees. He's got some extra vision to work with, but can't close the gap. And Itachi is pushing him away with those caustic hits. Tap down coming up from Madara, stealing a little bit of damage. See your baby dropping low. He's got his shrine. No, he doesn't. Elsewhere, top lane, they do manage to bring down the next assassin. Actually, it was in the bottom lane. Akatsuki finding trades here and there. Not the most ideal of nighttime for a Night Stalker. He would have ideally liked that kill on the Disruptor. Didn't end up getting it. Axel, 6 minutes in, he's piss poor at this point. He's got a 4-man shield and an Iron Talent. And Leugue is only looking to make matters worse. Drops the ward. Didn't have range for the shackle though. How's everybody looking in terms of network? You've got the Lifestealer sitting at the top. You've got Kumi in the mid lane with an Arcane Rune, but the Waning Rift is there. Followed up by the Barrow Strike. Thunder Strike for good measure as well. And they do end up getting the kill. It's Itachi Uchiha on the Sand King who picks it up. So a decent start for the Sand King. He's trying to push the Lifestealer away from the Abaddon. But he's been fairly active getting kills here and there across the map. He's ideally looking to pick up those arcane boots as soon as possible. Considering that Sand King no more has a mana talent, the arcane boots or maybe a soul ring are almost always a must. Number 7, once again, he's queued up the Midas. It's something he likes to pick up on the Lifestealer if he's off to a good start. He did it yesterday, and why not? If you get it by the 8-minute mark, it's absolute value. Jing and Seo Baby on the hunt. Mid lane, Kumi being chased. Axel, no real lockdown on the Abaddon. Kumi turns around, screams pain. And Seo Baby comes in from the back with the void. He wants Dreamy, he's got the silence. The Sonic Wave might just... I'm not sure if it flipped or not, but they are going to get the kill on the puck either way. Itachi's come in on the Sand King with the Barrow Strike. They want Jing. Elsewhere, Night Stalker chasing down the Disruptor. No real defenses on the Disruptor for him to get out of there. Itachi Uchiha on the Sand King dropping low. No mana to work with. Kumi wants to chase, but doesn't have the mana or the damage himself. And... it looks like IQ do end up winning that bout, picking up 2 quick kills. They also have a shrine to work with. And the first night time's been a reasonable success to see your baby on the Night Stalker. He's picked up the Infused Raindrops as well as the Orb of Venom. More than anything, he's got a lot of levels to work with, so the Void really hurts. Mid lane. These two, they're having a real go at each other in the mid lane. Razor, I'm a bit concerned as to why he's lagging behind in terms of net worth compared to the Lifestealer. I guess this has to do with the Lifestealer getting a couple of kills. Yeah, 1 kill and 1 assist to the Lifestealer, while the Razor has 0 kill participation at this point. It's honestly a bit surprising that along with the Sand King and the Disruptor, they weren't able to bring down the Night Stalker. This time though, it's Day. And Seo Baby can't really run away. He's trying to TP out of there. Will go down. Itachi Uchiha picks up his 2nd kill. He got something flying out to him in the courier. Jing comes by with a quick impale. But it looks like Sand King's picked up the magic wand as well as a couple of infused raindrops. Maybe a clarity. Yep, got clarity as well. I see you. What? I see yourself. .C9G. If gamers ever became parents, we'd be horrible at naming children. Most of these names make no sense. Number 7, I see yourself .C9G. Yeah, Chinese gamers would be the worst because they probably have the stupidest names ever. Anyway, I see yourself. He's being mighty stupid now. Sure, he's got the Sand King, but he's got to respect the damage coming out from Kumi. who seems to be building into a whale of discord. Fair bit of value when you got some magical damage coming out from the Shaman and the Nyx. Kumi, once again, perfect timing coming out from him. And this is the second or third time he's been running around the park, running circles around him and bringing him down in the mid lane all by himself. Also got a shrine. That's one of the best feelings when you get a successful gank and you got a shrine, and you can just reset without making a long trip all the way to base. It's really fulfilling. Top lane, Leugue on the Shaman, getting some alone time all by himself. He's sitting at level 5 while if you take a look at levels, the stuff is not done too bad himself. So Akatsuki, they're trying to hold their own. They've got a glimpse of the Night Stalker along with the kinetic field, which was maybe not as ideally placed as they would have liked. So you see a baby just going to run out of the kinetic field. They are seeing a whole lot of damage. Madara turns around, hits like a truck. Nearly 300 damage to work with, but here comes Kumi. He's gotten a Sonic Wave. He wants the Disruptor. Disruptor dropping low. See you, baby. Coming in through the trees. They've got vision. They will bring him down. Itachi walks in. Butter Strike. Kumi does have Blink available. Will blink out of there. IQ once again get a kill and do not get punished. Madara even popping Eye of the Storm there. A 4K net worth advantage in favor of IQ. Itachi Uchiha goes in, Bottle Strike, Epicenter. Can he chase him down? It is night time. And CO Baby runs like a horse, gets the hell out of there. And that's a Epicenter wasted coming out from Akatsuki. I mean, Madara wants this kill badly. He's just going to run him down. So he's got the moment speed, and with the Plasma Field along with the Phase Boots, they finally bring down the Night Stalker. But all of this is space for the Shaman to just drop the Mars Serpent Wards. And along with the Life Stealer, we're going to get a quick tier 1. Abaddon off to a disastrous start. I mean, all he's got at 12 minutes are Phase Boots to work with. I honestly wonder, this is going to be one of those games where he looks to build more aura-based items, which have value in teamfight, rather than getting what could be a 30-minute Radiance. Something like a Vladimir's offering, maybe a Solar Crash. Those items have a lot more value than a Radiance at 30 minutes. I'd rather see something along those lines. Dreamy, he's seated himself in this mid lane. He's trying to build a Veil himself. But clearly, Kumi's won the race in the mid lane. He's a good 1.7k net worth ahead of the puck. All in all, a good early game for Team IQ. Okay. Yeah, fun fact, they also have a coach who works with them on the side of Team IQ. We didn't see him at the LAN. I'm not sure if he did. His name is Frickin' J. And I don't know much about him, but I'm sure he has a fair bit of a contribution to Team IQ's success in the ESLIndia Premiership. Also did quite well at the TI7 qualifiers. If I'm not mistaken, they came up till the round of 16 and lost to EVOS. And yeah, that's a pretty similar fate. That's a pretty similar outcome to what happened to Entity Gaming at last year's TI quals. I mean, yeah, this is when Crowley was part of the team. They came up till the round of 32 and lost to EVOS. These guys came till the round of 16. And if I'm not mistaken, one of the very earliest iterations of Beyond Infinity, well, they came up till the finals and they ended up losing. Pretty much got second place. I want to say we're making progress, but we're actually going backwards as far as TI quals are concerned. Hopefully with Signify, things might change for the better. Signify are currently playing in the Challenger League. In fact, they're playing right now versus Team Buriza, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to alt-tab and check the score on that whenever I can. Anyway, back to the game. Smoke comes out from Akatsuki. They've got the Butter Strike, no Static Storm to work with for 90 seconds. In fact, they just dropped it. What am I saying? Kumi held in place, bought down, a Waning Rift to follow that up as well. And Akatsuki get the kill that they were looking for. See yourself, get some gold, and gets a little bit of EXP as well. Meanwhile, mid lane, you've got an Infest Bomb brewing. Nyx Assassin on the hunt. Vendetta will be timing out soon, but Disruptor, they might just be able to bring him down before that Vendetta hit, followed up with the Impale, and it should be an easy kill for number 7. Barbara Strike comes up from Itachi Uchiha. He's queued up the epicenter as well. There should be a kill, and indeed it is. So Akatsuki finding trades. They lose their 5, they get the enemy 4. All in all, not too shabby for Team Akatsuki. Number 7 though, hiding in the trees. Once again, IQ, after the phenomenal early game that they had, they placed a lot of deep observer wards looking over the Radiant jungle. Elsewhere, Shaman, he's got the Disruptor, not again. See yourself, brought down once more. 2 quick deaths on the Disruptor. And yeah, this deep vision coming up from Team IQ paying off. Kumi's got the Veil as well. Looks like he's building into Yules, which I really see the value in. Can dispel the waning rift coming out from the path. Maybe even shave off a couple of seconds of the static storm. But this doesn't need to be happening for Team Akatsuki. Their core getting picked off all by himself. And 16 minutes in, the net worth advantage at 6,000 in favor of Team IQ. They're cruising through this game comfortably. It's a rather unique feature of Team IQ. They never feel forced to do anything. I mean, a lot of other teams, it's almost as if, okay, we got a blink dagger on the axe, let's pop a smoke and look for a kill. But these guys, they just play the game, they enjoyed the game. And they just cruise through the mid game. And they make it look effortless, but there's a lot of thought and planning behind what they do on the map at this point of the game. They did get dewarded at this point though, so Disrupt is getting some much needed vision back in the jungle. Okay, looks like they're thinking of grouping up to push. Remy does have a Veil himself. It's really going to aid the Sand King and the Disruptor in that magic damage output. They're just going to back off. IQ, not ready to pick fights, not yet. And why should they? I mean, the Lifestealer, he's farming with the Midas. He's, well, he's sitting in an Ancient at this point. And, yeah, he's a good 3k ahead of the Razor in terms of net worth. Yeah, a fair bit of that can be attributed to the Midas, but, yeah, he pretty much just out-farmed the Razor. Itachi Uchiha trying to set up for a kill here, might just end up getting caught out of position, but Baru strikes into the side and TPs out. Do IQ really need to give Akatsuki so much time and respect was the question. All this is just space for Rapadan to AFK farm in the jungle with his Iron Talent. And yeah, it looks like he's gone for the Vlads. So more auras to work with for his side. Ancient Black Dragon poking at Akatsuki here. Uchiha goes in with the Baru strike. They don't have enough to bring down the dragon just yet. The Mars Serpent wards have been committed. The tower drops to less than half health. Zheng waiting around with the Vendetta. Meanwhile, Kumi pressuring the mid lane. Glimpse onto Kumi's. What? What? What was that? That was not close. I see yourself. I see what you did there. Jesus. Off by a mark. I mean, I appreciate the initiative coming out from the Disruptor. Yeah, I'll glimpse him and maybe try and get a solo kill. But yeah, that was one of the worst static storms I've seen in a while. Maybe he got carried away. Heat of the moment. The pressure is real. I mean, the new side, they have boot camp in Nepal. So there is pressure to perform, right? And it really gets to you. So I can understand. You are playing one of the best sides in SEA. I could have said best side in India, but they're not really Indian. But whatever, you're playing a really good team. Tense moments here in the mid game between Akatsuki and IQ. See, baby, he's had enough. He just runs past the tier 2. They're chipping down this Abaddon bit by bit. Is TP support available? Dreamy is just trying to farm up his Blink Dagger. So IQ has slowed down the game. They're amassing a net worth advantage. But when you play this kind of Dota, if you do end up losing your next team fight, the goal could just swing right back in favor of Team Akatsuki. And this puts a lot more pressure on IQ because all the players are sitting on a fair bit of unreliable gold. Losing a team fight now could mean comeback goal for the opponents. But IQ, they're not looking for a head-on team fight. They're looking for a pick-off. Sing with the Vendetta. They see Dreamy. It's going to be hard to follow up with the Impale, but the Impale is there. Dreamy, being focused, does get the orb, but will end up going down. He's got buyback to work with, but doesn't want to buy back and jaunt back to the orb. Jing on the hunt. They see Axel. Can he land another Impale? It's coming off cooldown in a couple of seconds. They've got kinetic field zoning them out. But at this point, Team IQ, they've done damage. They've brought down a core. While on their bottom lane, Kumi and Love just making quick work of the tower. The Burrow Strike completely missed. And Kumi just standing there, styling all over them. Finally blinks out of there. They could glimpse back the Queen of Flame. This time the Static Storm is on point. He's got the Yule Scepter to stay alive. Love walks in the Static Storm, walks right back, will end up going down. Does get picked out of the Sonic Wave on the tree along with the Stream of Pain. Will ensure that they end up getting a kill on the puck once more. Actually, they didn't end up getting a kill on anyone else, where I did hear an epicenter. Leugue's trying to DP out of there. Not got too much mana to work with, and might just stick down to the Caustic. He's got Spike Carapace in a bit, but will go down to the Plasma Field. Yeah, Akatsuki end up winning that fight, losing the Disruptor. And like I pointed out, it's a gold exchange of nearly 2,200 in favor of Team Akatsuki here. And a huge EXP change in their favor. He's got the Yasha and the drums. So got a fair bit of movement speed to maneuver around these fights. I'm making good progress towards the Sanjay and Yasha. At some point he'd like the Halberd against the Lifestealer. And if I'm not mistaken, it can't be dispelled. So if he gets it off before Lifestealer pops his rage, he could pretty much control Lifestealer for the entire duration of the fight. And then you're looking at Kumi on the Queen of Pain to do most of the heavy lifting in team fights. He's gone for the 12% cooldown reduction. Makes absolute sense over the 90 GPM talent. 12% cooldown reduction. That's, I mean, that's nearly an Octane core. Actually, wait, I'm wrong on that, but it's somewhat of an Octane core at level 15 or 20. Elsewhere, Itachi Uchiha gets controlled with the sheath. They've held him in place with the shackles as well. They've brought him down. That's a killing spree that comes to an end. Jing on the hunt with the Vendetta. He could pop the Spike Carapace and maybe look for a stun. He does follow up with the Impale, but the Razor just out of range. So I think he could Spike Carapace and hit him, and maybe that would have controlled the Razor. Number 7 though, out of position, pops the raid, wants to fight, damage being stolen, the link being broken. Number 7 IQ retreating, but the coil is there. Dreamy controls them. A quick infest from the Lifestealer, but Jing got in the Static Storm. It might mean the death of both of them. Elsewhere, a Sonic Wave, Leugue falling this game. They've lost Madara. They want more. Axel being controlled with the open wounds. They're trying to bring him down. Number 7 still alive to all of this. The wards are there. The borrowed time kicks in. Axel trying to make a run for it. Gets held in place with the use. But Dreamy on the backline with the orb brings down the Lifestealer. Is got in place with the shackles. So the shield keeping him alive for a bit, dispelling the shackles. You've got Itachi Uchiha coming in with Barustra number 21. This time connecting on the Shaman. They do end up bringing him down. Kumi still alive. The fight going on for a really long period of time. What a strike, epicenter, misses by a mile, but he's got the blink to follow that up. Queen of Flame though, with the blink of room, gets the hell out of there. See your baby coming in, he's got the Ag, he's got more vision to work with. He's got the Void on Itachi Uchiha, but I'm not sure if he's going to be bringing him down anytime soon. Night Stalker, just going to retreat for the time being. He's queued up a BKB. Interesting choice. Yeah, gem first. Okay, so he's got the drums, not used a single charge up till this point. Haven't seen the complete effectiveness of the Night Stalker just yet. He spent a lot of time farming, and this Ags, I guess, is going to pay for itself in the next couple of fights. You've got extra vision to work with. You can jump on the back lines. You can silence the puck, bring him down really easy. And that's what CEO Baby is looking to do in the mid lane. You've got Kumi coming in as well. They see the puck. Kumi goes in with the shadow strike. You've got the Yule Scepter. Veil of Discord onto Dreamy. Dreamy turns around, drops the coil. The gang's being foiled, and he's just going to retreat for the time being. Casual zoning coil. IQ pushing down the mid lane, deep on the radiant half of the map. Akatsuki, oh, Dreamy, got out of position with the shield stick. He's been silenced as well. No shield just yet on the bad end, but he's not going to be brought down. He's got the Solar Crest. He's going to keep the puck alive for a little bit longer. Kumi gets glimpsed back. Not sure what that was about. The kinetic field was dropped, but no follow-up lockdown just yet. CEO Baby thinking of going in. They want to kill, but it's just CEO Baby all by himself. Waning Rift onto the Night Stalker, and CEO Baby is going to retreat. It is night time. He's going to back off for the time being. Zinc, farming, uncontested, has a Midas and a Blink in 25 minutes. That's, well, I want to say that's more fun than a lot of position 3 Nyx Assassins end up getting. IQ leading the net worth charts by 10,000 gold, 26 minutes into the game. It's been a great start for them. The XP's been spiking a bit. I presume this small spike in favor of Team Akatsuki was on the back of the last fight that they won. But IQ, they've regained control. And speaking of control, Disruptor trying to get some sentries down, get some vision going in his own jungle. Not too much vision for Team IQ. They just got this one dire ward looking over this part of the jungle. That's about it. Good teams will have their eyes set on the next Roshan. And it's going to be the next key objective. Night Stalker pops the darkness.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
He's on the hunt. But look at this. Akatsuki too scared to farm a lane. They're just grouped up around the mid lane, all of them. And Madara, I'm not even sure what he's doing. They pop the smoke and he uses the plasma field.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
There's a good amount of synergy coming up from Team Akatsuki around the Rosh pit though. Oops. Buck does manage to find the Night Stalker. The Burrow Strike will miss. CEO Baby snaps the coil, stays alive. Can fly over the cliff and will do just that. Elsewhere, the Infest Bomb makes sure that the Disruptor dies. No static storm here. Madara being controlled with the shackles. That's the Razor who's done nothing for the entire duration of the fight. The Sonic Wave is there. Border time will kick in. But IQ, they get the 2 kills that they were looking for. And Axel is going to back off. He's got a gem with him. Maybe to deal with the Nyx Assassin, I guess. Nyx though, on the hunt. They see Itachi Uchiha. Elsewhere, they have managed to bring down the puck. You've got the Vendetta along with the Impale. Kumi comes in with the screen. They get the kill. That's 2 kills for Kumi. 3 cores there on the side to Akatsuki. Mana burn onto Axel. No Impale to follow that up. This is a really happy thing for Nyx Assassin when you've got Arcane Boots as well as a Void Stone. And you do not have enough mana to cast Impale. I guess that's a sign that you've been doing a lot in team fights. And IQ even get the hands on the Aegis. Kumi, he's got an Orchid now as well, along with the Aegis. It is really hard for Team Akatsuki to win team fights. Without the Static Storm and the Burrow Strike, they need both. And with the Disruptor falling before the fight even started, things just got that much harder for Team Akatsuki. And Razor controlled for the entire duration of that fight with the shackles and being brought down. Didn't end up stealing much damage and didn't end up doing too much either. It looks like he's going for the BKB. I partly see value in that because the shackles did end up controlling him for a fair bit. Ooh, mid lane, Spike Carapace, Vendetta hit, Mana Burn, Impale, all and everything being thrown on Madara. Kumi comes in, he's got the Veil, doesn't use it. Burrow Strike onto 3 members on the side of Team IQ, but there's no follow-up. Okay, on the Sand King, he will be focused, but Dreamy comes in with the Waning Rift and the coil. They want to bring down Kumi, who drops the Sonic Wave, pops the Yule, stays alive. It clips on the Dream, got the Scream of Pain as well. They've taken away the Aegis, they dropped the Static Storm, but they're dropping low themselves. CO Baby manages to bring down the Razor, while Kumi goes onto the Disruptor and brings him down as well. Elsewhere, Puck being chased, Dreamy has not got too much to work with. They've got the Orchid as well, and they will bring him down. 4 heroes fall on the side of Team Akatsuki, while number 7 is chasing Axel in his own base. He's popped the Aquatic Shield, he's got the Border Time, he's got the Shrine, but number 7 doesn't care. However, that Solar Crest is doing some real work. He infests into a Siege Creep. And yeah, with that infest, they've got some additional pushing power on the side of IQ. Don't really need it with 4 of them dead on the side of Akatsuki. This might just be licensed for Team IQ to go high ground. Kumi building into a BK, keep pushing down the bottom lane. It's just an Abaddon all by himself with the shield. What can he do? You've got the Burrow Strike, but have they got enough lockdown? No, they haven't. Kumi blinks the hell out of there. No vision for a follow-up glimpse just yet. And IQ run away scot-free. A 21,000 net worth advantage in their favor 30 minutes in. The game slowly but surely slipping away from Akatsuki. Dreamy is just started to fall off in terms of items. He's trying to build into a Yules. He's gone in with the Waning Rift and the coil on number 7. No one to invest into. He pops the Rage, Shrine Fight, goes into a dire Siege Wagon, but that's not going to stay alive for much longer. And number 7 will end up falling. 4 heroes make that 5 group up around the Lifestealer, while Itachi TPs to what should have been a safe place, that tier 3 tower, but does end up going down. The tier 3 tower will fall as well. Axel TPing in is going to take a while. Kumi prepping up to Shadow Strike, starts off with the Scream. Axel not much mana to work with. The Borrow Time gives him a little bit of HP to work with. Impale onto Dreamy. The Puck there once again, 54 seconds, no buyback to work with. Kumi chasing down the Disruptor. Disruptor hugging his Shrine, but that won't keep him alive. No place is safe for Team Akatsuki at this point. Their barracks have been taken down and IQ just steamrolling over their opponents. And yeah, something incomprehensible in Russian coming out from the Lifestealer, but this is how we feel at this point. Before you know it, Team IQ just snatched the game away from you. And I don't know, they play such a quiet, innocent, casual early game, and then they amass a goal lead and there's nothing you can do about it, and they're taking buildings and there's nothing you can do about it. They make it look so effortless. He's even got another item flying out to him. He's got the Yule Scepter. So all that control coming out from the Puck means nothing in the form of the Waning Rift. Shaman as an Axe Scepter, 32 minutes in. And he is even building towards a Blink Dagger. So the push is really coming out from Team IQ. So one of the few games we did see, so in my memory, IQ lost 2 games on the land. One was against Go Figure and one was against Entity. Where they claim they baited Entity into thinking that they weren't that good. I mean, that's the story. I've even seen a screenshot to back that up. But yeah, if there's any part of the game where IQ look a little weak, that's the early game. If you play an aggressive early game, you might just be able to bring them down and not give them this ridiculous start in the mid game. Speaking of ridiculous, you've got a Lifestealer just doing cartwheels on the ground like a little cat, infesting into a creep and getting the hell out of there, while Kumi styling all over his opponents, gets a quick double kill, is in with the Impale onto 2, Lifestealer follows that up with the Open Wound. They've got the Yules on the Abaddon, that time means nothing at this point, and Axel might just end up going down. Those shrines are not safe places to be at anymore. IQ have won the game, Akatsuki has tapped out, and once again, Team IQ with a comprehensive performance at the ESLIndia Premiership. Anyway, folks, that's it as